If you've ever thought about leaving your church, or maybe you already have, you probably know the fear I'm talking about, and it's paralyzing. And that fear is often built on a fundamental lie. And the lie isn't that God doesn't exist. The lie is that the church or any institution holds the keys or access to your higher power. That only they can forgive you or absolve you or guide you or light the way for you. I left the church when I was 18 years old, and 23 years later, my parents and family are more devout than ever. They tell me that they pray for my salvation, and I get it, but it took me 2 decades to fully unlearn that church dependency or those church fears, and I don't want it to take that long for you. It can take time to detox from this, especially if you fight against it, and I see this with a lot of people. The energy that they had for the church turns into an equivalent energy against the church, and I don't want that negativity, because the last thing we need is more negative energy and intolerance in the world. But the truth I found, and the truth I want you to know today, is this: your connection to God or a higher power is a direct one within you. That energy is there right now, every second of the day within you. And think about what Jesus said in Luke 17:21. This was the quote that changed everything for me. He said, "The kingdom of heaven is within." The kingdom of heaven is within. So consider that the punishment for not living a loving life isn't hell and fire in the afterlife, but a tortured mind and soul while you're alive. And people tell me all the time that their biggest fear of leaving the church and organized religion is the threat of sin and hell. And I ran away from God as soon as I left the church. But God, or whatever God is to you, is within each of us. That energy is there, and you can never outrun that. And it was only as I got older did I start to feel a pull towards something greater within me, which I've experienced deeply, and it's changed my life. And you can experience that too, even if you've recently left the church or you're considering it. And I like to read up on history, and over 1,000 years ago, there was someone inside the Orthodox Church saying the exact same thing, and his name was Simeon the New Theologian. I think that's a great name. And he insisted that the direct personal experience wasn't just possible, but it was the entire point. And one of his principal teachings was that humans could and should experience something he called theoria, but it literally means contemplation or a direct experience of God. And he saw bishops in his day who lacked this inner fire, who were just focused on control. And listen to what he wrote about them. And just note that he said this as if it was Jesus himself saying it. "They unworthily handle my body and seek avidly to dominate the masses. Their souls are worse than mud and dirt, worse even than any kind of deadly poison." I saw a disgusting example of this recently by quote-unquote Bishop Marvin Winans rebuking someone for their $1,200 donation to his church.
With the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Maybe you have experience with this, with the prosperity gospel, and what you see there is just pure and utter manipulation, and it's fear-based coercion. And I always respect people's right to attend church. I'll never pass judgment on that, but it's just that it kills me when I see good people like that woman giving money to churches that have no interest whatsoever in them. And Simeon knew about these people. He called them out. That's what he meant about these bishops. And he recognized all of these vipers the same way Jesus did. And he knew that the institution of the church can become a hollow and even dangerous shell with the wrong people at the top. But I love that Simeon wasn't proposing that we abandon God. And he said it was about finding God directly, in the stillness, in the heart, at the center of who you are. And that path is available to you right now. It's there for everyone. And in Luke 15:11, where there's the three parables, there's the parable of the lost son, or the prodigal son as it's better known. And the younger son returns and he finds the father waiting for him. Always there. That's the same energy that's waiting within you. And Jesus said in Matthew 7:7, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. It's waiting for you if you can just realize it. You obviously have, if you're thinking of leaving the church or if you left, there was a gut feeling and it's correct. You just have to trust it and follow it. And that inner knowing telling you something is wrong with the fear-based system you were taught, that's the connection. That's the compass. And whatever feeling you have is the place that you start from, because it won't lead you away from that divine light. It will always lead you towards the divine light within you, because it has your best interests at heart. So what do you actually do? What steps do you take? Well, the first thing is recognize that you don't need a new church or a new guru. There will be that temptation to just fill the void in the absence of something that you always knew. But you need to start trusting what I call the inner guru that you already have. And the inner guru is the intuitive feeling that's inside yourself, and it will guide you if you're able to listen to it. So this is the first step. If you can, just find 5 minutes of quiet time today. Sit and breathe and just listen. Listen for that inner knowing. Does it tell you anything? What is it actually telling you beneath all the fear and the worry and the anxiety? And you don't need an answer immediately. Okay, this takes time, but it will eventually tell you that you're enough. So just create that space to listen to yourself. That's the beginning. And there's nothing unclear to the inner guru. It's the ego's fear-driven actions and its desire for sovereignty and relevance that get in the way. That's what holds you back. And this journey out of institutional or organized religion and into direct connection with something greater than you can feel lonely. But know that you're not alone. Okay, this channel is about navigating that path. It's non-dogmatic spirituality where you'll break your default mode and you'll find real wholeness. So let's walk that journey together. And I'd love to hear your story if you've left the church and if you've found that cosmic universal energy within, or if you're thinking about leaving the church and you're struggling. Well, tell us why. Tell me why. Reach out to me. Always happy to listen. And that's it for today. So thanks for your time. I'm signing off from Dublin, Ireland on a kind of cold and rainy evening, but it's great to be alive. So take care and we'll talk soon.